Welcome back, race fans. Happy New Year to everybody. We are so thrilled to be back here tonight live with the SERL Truck Series Saturday Night Racing right here at Lucas Oil Speedway IRP. That's what we're going to be doing tonight. Thank you all for tuning in and supporting this awesome league. We are qualifying right now with just a couple more minutes to go here in qualifying. We're going to get this show on the road here. Logan Lax in the booth with me as always. Happy New Year, bud.
Happy New Year, and a bit of a different track to start off.
Yeah, it absolutely is. You know, I got out there earlier today in the Toyota test truck, and the one thing that I noticed, man, is this place feels a whole lot to me like a little bit bigger New Hampshire. Very flat corners, and could see a lot of side-by-side racing, and I tell you what, man, these things really, it's a very, very touchy throttle kind of racetrack. You've got to be very smooth, or you can lose it on your own. And if you give it just a little bit too much, you're going to pancake that outside wall. So the name of the game here tonight, Logan, is going to pretend like you've got an egg underneath that gas pedal and be smooth.
Yeah, but like you were saying about touchy and side by side during pace, these guys will go 4 wide for a lap because of the recent loss of Ken Block.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And, you know, it's just been a weird start to the year. You never want to see a motorsports icon lose their life that way. Anybody lose their life that way. He certainly meant a lot to a lot of these guys out here, myself included, and was just a madman behind the wheel. Just simply incredible what he could do with a race car. So they are going to pay homage to him tonight and show some respect in a very awesome way. And, you know, just in sports in general, you know, with the incident on the football field and seeing everybody come together, doesn't matter where you're from, what color you're from, what your beliefs are, just shows how powerful the sports world really is. And when they come together, it truly is an amazing feeling.
Yeah, and speaking of feeling amazing, one of these guys who's feeling amazing right now is Blake Giglio, who beat Cody Reeder on pace by 1,000th of a second.
Wow, yes he did. Yes he did. Man, it's going to be a fun one. I'm looking forward to this. As we see right here, we've got the Blake Giglio on the pole, Cody Reeder, Josh Anderson, Dean Brummett rounding out the top 2 rows here with John J. McIntyre and Bobby Anderson, Stoney Brimfield, and Dakota Bailey rounding out the top 8 with Corey Stahl and James Jones rounding out your top 10 here as the trucks are officially gridding up. And we're going to take a look here, see what we can get going here for y'all. These things are loading up here. We are going to see some Ken Block looking schemes if you guys pay attention out there. We've got a few guys representing that famous number 43 of Ken Block. I see the number 2. I know the number 3 is running one. There might be a couple of others too, so we're certainly going to keep our eye on those race trucks here as we grid up, and we are getting ready to do 150 laps here at IRP. But man, I tell you what, with a 23 second lap, this race is going to fly by.
Yeah, one thing I've noticed is as I'm scrolling through the field, one thing I'm not seeing, well, originally was those top 2, but second place of Cody Reeder has not gotten onto the track yet. He's got about 15-ish seconds to do. Oh, there he goes.
Did he make it? Okay, good.
Yeah, barely, but he made it.
That's always a scary moment. I know that we're, you know, in the league Discord, and we have a gentleman, Anthony Trippi, not going to be able to make it tonight because he is having computer issues, and that is not the way, you know, that's not the way you want to start the new year and have those kind of technical issues. But I tell you what, the one thing that we've learned here at the 213 Broadcast Network is computers are wonderful, and they literally will destroy your hopes and dreams when they don't work right, and there's nothing you can do about it but sit back and do the best you can with what you've got. Technology, it's got a mind of its own, doesn't it?
Yeah, especially whenever I try using it. It doesn't go too well.
Well, once again, everybody, happy holidays to you. We're glad to be back. Felt real good to get behind the wheel today and do some testing, and good to see these trucks. As you can see, these guys, they're going to try to pull a formation here, I believe, and show some respects to a fallen racing hero in Ken Block. We're going to take a step aside here and have a moment of silence and let them do their thing.
All right, man. Light you back on the pace car. We're not going green this time. We are not going green.
All right, it looks like they're getting back into formation here, and we're getting ready to go do some racing live at Lucas Oil. IRP 150 big ones. The stage break is going to be at lap 70. There will not be a caution. They will just be scored accordingly. And as always, if you look down in the right-hand corner, Darren's Nail Gun Repair. They've come on to sponsor the Clean Driver Award, and this league does reward you for all 0x races with bonus points. And at the end of the season, they are going to get cash and prizes from that sponsor for promoting clean driving. So that's something we love to see here at the 213 Broadcast Network. Always good racing. Getting ready as they are side by side here. Looks like we're getting ready to take the green flag. As you see the iRacing pace truck dive down a very tricky pit road here. And we are getting ready to go green flag racing here live on a Saturday night. Thank you for tuning in. Let's get after it, boys.
Yeah, and you really have to wonder how aggressive they'll be here. You saw how tight it was trying to fit it 4 wide. You have to wonder if maybe someone like Josh Anderson will try and throw it 3 wide early. But Blake Giglio will get the inside line. Cody Reeder might get a run on the outside.
Yeah.
Cody has not quite let Blake go yet, but Blake's going to have that quicker inside line.
Yeah, and that's something we're going to have to keep our eye on all night long is, what line is going to have the momentum early on with fresh tires. You might be able to get a pretty good drive off on that bottom line, but my instinct tells me once those Goodyears start to wear out a little bit, that middle to high line, middle to middle high line is going to be the way to go. So you can push down the gas and get off, especially off of turn 4, to get that run back to the start-finish line.
As the 43 goes around and hits the inside wall.
We lost one.
It'd be I guess the one car of Bobby Anderson. The caution has not been thrown.
Do not have a caution. Not the way Bobby Anderson wanted to start his day in that Ken Block 43 throwback. Man.
We'll take a look back at what happened.
Yeah, let's rewind this a little bit and take a look back and see. Looks like he might have just lost it on his own.
And now there's a caution.
All right, we're going to take a look at this incident real quick. And, yep, just like we said, he just lost it on his own. Hard into that inside wall. Now this looks like this could be a Dakota Bailey.
Yeah, it looks like the same issue. Just getting turn 4. Did good to keep it out of the wall there. But definitely positions lost that he didn't want to lose.
Oh, yeah. And just like we said, the name of the game today is just pretending like you've got an egg underneath that gas pedal. You got to be very, very smooth and slow on acceleration. These things will just absolutely turn on you on a dime as we see 2 early spins here tonight live at IRP. And the one thing I did want to say while I had that shot up, I don't know exactly what's going on, but I do want to apologize to the 75. I don't know if it's on my end. I know that sometimes Trading Paints has a mind of its own. We are not showing a paint for that truck, and it is very odd because it's showing up on our other commentator's screen. I've tried to refresh, and I am getting nothing but a black truck for that 75 tonight. So to the Stony Benfield fans, certainly not intentional. And again, that's part of the technology that we simply cannot control. unfortunate caution here early on, and we are going to re-rack them and try it again here tonight at IRP.
Yeah, Blake Giglio still holding on to that first position off that restart. Cody Reeder just wasn't able to get to him.
Yeah. We're going to see it all night, man. I'm very curious to see how this plays out. Like I said, it drives a whole lot like a New Hampshire to me. That's the first thing that I thought. Very flat corners. Could potentially bring some, it could really stretch things out, or we could have a lot of side-by-side action here. It's only time will tell. We're going to bring it to you. All of it live right here on the 213 Broadcast Network for the rest of the season until we crown a champion. We're going to be right here every Saturday night, so make sure you tune in. And keep an eye on that. As one thing, too, that I can tell you is Dakota Reeder, Landon Lacey, Dean Brummett, Dakota Camper, Anthony Trippi are your top 5 in points. So this is a huge blow to Anthony not being able to make the race tonight with some technical computer issues. And Blake Giglio, man, he has moved up 5 spots in the last 2 races. To bring up the 6th position in points. So things are tightening up.
Yeah, Blake has been really consistent these last few races and is just able to get the points that he needs.
He absolutely has. As we're going side by side here again, and you see the iRacing pace truck ducking down a very tricky pit road, something we're going to have to keep an eye on if we see green flag stops tonight. This pit road is treacherous to get on and off of. We're getting ready to go back green.
It reminds me kind of like a Miami access road.
Yeah, it absolutely does. Green flag is back out, and the number 16 of Blake Giglio up front, leading the way here. Dean Brummett diving down below Cody Reeder here. That 316 machine, he wants to take over that 2nd spot as we are coming to lap 10.
Yeah, Dean Brummett wasn't able to make Pocono before we went on break for 2 weeks, but is showing that he wants to gain some points early as Cody Reeder makes some contact with the wall out of 4.
I think that's something we're going to see a lot of today. We saw a lot of it in practice, and there doesn't seem like there's much of a happy medium. You're either real tight off or real loose. So the fastest guy, I think, in practice was that number 3 of Dakota Camper. Going to have to keep an eye on him as he works his way up through the field, and we know he's left his mark here in this league with some championships, and he knows how to get it done.
Yeah, as Mike Wells is not able to get as much speed as he'd like out the turn, and these back 5 have kind of checked up like onto each other due to it. But Mike is now stuck on the outside. Everyone trying to move under him.
Ooh, that got tight.
Has a on him, and Bobby Anderson will follow.
Absolutely, and we see some side-by-side going on here. The 43, he's technically number 1, but again, he's running the 43 throwback for Ken Block. But the number 1 of Bobby Anderson came out with a clean race truck. That means it appears that he used his one and only fast repair within the first 10 laps of this race. So we're going to have to keep our eyes on that, because right now, there's no more room for those kind of incidents.
Yeah, he's going to have to be, conservative with how he races the rest of today. These top 5 not being as conservative as everyone else, they've kind of left the rest of this field behind. The 5 of McIntyre is kind of the end of this 5-car pack, and the 66 of Corey Stahl fighting with the 3 of Dakota Camper seems to kind of be the leader of that second pack.
It's like
as the 23 Richard Gonzalez, I think, started to pull a little bit of a Chastain there.
Yeah, it looks like he might have sent it a little hard, but he's up 2 spots. Rich is up to 11th spots, so up to the 11th spot. Dakota Camper right now is up 6 spots since the start of this thing, so you can see the damage on the right side of that 23. He definitely got it in there a little bit too hot.
Yeah, as Jesse Steffs also puts it into the wall here. As a lot of these guys just maybe trying to push a little too hard, going in a little too hot, catching that outside wall.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And that wall comes at you real fast, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, that Toyota test truck didn't treat you too well, did it?
I definitely learned a lot. It was a lot of fun, but yeah, you know, your natural instinct is just to get back in the gas, get that thing off the corner as fast as you can, but you're literally, you know, about to eat the wall. It's a very tricky place because you can't hammer down here like you want to. It just will not work. And I think that's going to be a very, very telling thing who can come out of this race with the clean race truck tonight.
Yeah. Speaking of clean race trucks, these top 5 seem to be the cleanest ones out there. They're kind of spread out, not a ton of, you know, fighting between them.
Yeah, we see a little bit of chaos back here.
It looks like this 4-car pack up here seems to be the closest battle.
Definitely. So. Yeah, the 66, that's Corey Stahl. 75 of the 45 of James Jones, and the 49 of Jesse Steffes is right there. And Richard Gonzalez is closed up to this battle, and he's going to see if he can make some more hay here. But up front, leading the way, Blake Giglio by 0.65 already on this field.
As of this backpack is still fighting between each other, as the 43 or 1 car of Bobby Anderson, whatever you want to say, makes a pass on Richard Gonzalez on the bottom.
Yeah, he absolutely did. And I think, you know, I think when you have an incident like that happen, you kind of get frustrated at yourself. You know, it's really easy to get frustrated and to overdrive. The best thing you can do is just sit back, take your time, re-get your rhythm, realizing that you are fast in practice, you have a fast truck. Just maintain your composure, and it looks like he has done just that because he is driven from the rear of this field all the way back up now to 11th position and closing.
Yeah, 1 car earlier who seems to now have some issues getting passed by Cody Reeder is Dean Brummett. So I just saw him slow out of 2, maybe some right side damage, maybe he made contact with the wall, I'm not sure. As the truck looks clean, maybe just was doing everything to keep it out of the wall and lost a bit more time than he'd like.
Yeah, that's possible. Could have maybe just had a bad corner there. Looks like he's got a clean truck. We'll keep an eye on that, but I think he's okay for now. Really no surprise these 3 guys running up front before we left on vacation. They were certain. Oh, boy. That was sketchy. 25 just about spun out right in front of that 316. Both of them did a heck of a job there to save that. It's like we were saying, you know, there doesn't seem to be a happy medium here. You're either real loose off or real tight off, and boy, it can change in a hurry. As we see the 2 Ken Block schemes side by side with John McIntyre and Dakota Camper fighting right now for the 5th and 6th position. That is just cool to see.
McIntyre's been using these Ken Block kind of tribute and throwback schemes all week. I was in a race with him last night, and he was running a 43 Ken Block car.
Very cool. Very cool. We got a comment here. Well, it said, fresh doggo. Message retracted, but wanted to know how he could join this league. If anybody out there is interested, if you want to just shoot me a message or an email, follow the 213 Simware on Twitter or Instagram. Send me a message if you're interested, and I can get you in touch with the proper people here and get you on the Discord and stuff if you're interested in maybe coming to race with these guys next year. They certainly put on a heck of a show every week.
Yeah, these guys are really good at making things interesting and keeping us, you know, in our seats and entertained.
Absolutely, yes, they do. Great guys, too, man. I love the energy and the attitude in the Discord. Certainly a great place to run. As we see the number 1 of 43 of Bobby Anderson closing up now on the 45 of James Jones. That's going to be for 9th spot if he can get there. So, once again, man, tip your hat to that number 1 Bobby Anderson machine for just doing what he's got to do, man, minimizing the damage the best he can, and he is on rails right now. As we see the number 23 of Richard Gonzalez sliding back a little bit. It looks like he's gotten into the wall a couple times here and killed a little bit of that momentum as Mike Wells is trying to take over that spot and put his machine into the 13th. Yep.
Yeah, momentum is something that Blake Giglio has a lot of He's about 1.8 seconds ahead of Cody Reeder and holding that pace.
Absolutely, man. He is on rails right now in that Toyota Tundra. And, you know, that's the only Toyota here. He doesn't have teammates, but I tell you what, it doesn't look like he needs it today as he is getting the job done. Great, you know, as we said, man, these top 3 guys are all within the top 3 or 4 in points. So it's really no surprise to see him out there. But, man, it's these guys just... You can see the rear end of these things stepping out, getting loose, and they're doing a heck of a job hanging on to these trucks on corner exit because it can get wicked on you. As you see right now, Dakota Camper is sliding underneath Josh Anderson in that number 7, the 3 spot. The number 3 truck trying to take over the 5th position here. That's going to make him, so far in this race, the biggest mover. And this league does, in fact, reward you for the biggest mover. They give you bonus points for the biggest mover, and they give the drivers bonus points for finishing each event with a 0x. So that alone is just awesome. Awesome stuff. As up front here, Blake Giglio leading the way by 1.67 seconds. Putting on a clinic here tonight, folks. And one thing we've got to keep our eye on, you know, when's the fuel window going to come? They run 65% fuel here. We're coming to lap 35. I would have to imagine we're going to be maybe 10 to 15 laps. We should start seeing some cars here. I'm thinking maybe lap 50 to 60 would be my rough guesstimate without really knowing the fuel calculator precisely. But as we mentioned earlier when we first got on air, when I was doing a little bit of testing this morning, this pit road is absolutely crazy. And you drive right by it. It just looks like an access road here. It doesn't look like pit road. And you can drive right by that sucker and not even realize, oops, I just passed my pit stalls. So could definitely ruin a race if you are not paying attention and or did not practice entry and exit here at IRP. Dean Brummett chasing down the 25 machine right now of Cody Reeder. There was a gap, but that gap has closed back up. I think a few laps ago, the 316 had a little bit of a issue on corner exit and killed his momentum. It looks like he is back up to full speed here. And let's see what we got here. Dakota Camper, yep, up 8 positions. Josh Anderson has dropped a couple spots since the beginning of this thing, but he's holding a very strong top 5 right now. And that awesome looking 7 machine here. So great run by him as well. And folks, we told you this thing is going to go by fast. We're getting ready to almost be to lap 40 already. It feels like we just started. So they're going to, at lap 70, they're going to score the top 10. We'll get points for stage finishes just like a normal race. They will not throw a caution, and they will reward those points at the end of lap 70 here.
Yeah, some of these guys are really going to need these stage points as they may not be where they want to in the point standings. But someone who doesn't want a lot of these lower drivers getting points is Anthony Trippi, who's currently sitting 5th in the playoff standings.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw it in the Discord, and my heart sank for him. You never want to see somebody not being able to make a race because of a computer issue, and the league guys trying to help him get it sorted out and figure out what to do. And ultimately, you know, I just saw at around qualifying time that he did, you know, had to place an order for a new PC, and that's just not something that you can change overnight. It takes a lot of setup to do what we do to get these things up and running and shipping and that whole deal. So unfortunately, the 44 is out tonight. But Anthony, we hope to see you back here, brother. We know you're going to be a contender at the end of this thing, and we appreciate you out here each and every week.
Yeah, Anthony was also, I believe, unable to make the race at Pocono. So 2 in a row is definitely not good for his points, but I think he was consistent enough earlier in the season to have a little bit of a cushion for later on.
Yeah, absolutely. Good, looks like Dakota Bailey here. About to be the first guy lap down.
Is he?
Looks like the 16 just passed him, so I'm thinking. I'm
Oh,
thinking
no,
that
I think the 8. It's the 08 of David Mayo.
the 16 just went by the 88 of Dakota Bailey, and Dakota's in 11th position here. So
Well, I'm seeing Richard Gonzalez in 14th and McCanny in 5th and 16th. I believe that is the end of the lap cars. So,
what happened to George Jewell? It doesn't look like George gridded up here, does it?
George stepped away right before qualifying and had a headache and was just unable to race, so he is not in the session.
Unfortunate. Okay, I was going to say, I know I saw him in practice, and I remember seeing the 07 Vans scheme. I absolutely love that truck, and his scoring and timing is blank. So I was like, man, what happened there? I didn't realize he stepped off. Hate to see a couple unfortunate incidences here. And James McCanny, that's a really good-looking truck. A little bit of some issues on the right side of it, but the left side looks awesome, man. All the chrome and all the spec mapping and everything on that. Really good-looking truck here. Running in the 15th position.
I'll know mapping, dude. I can't.
I am with you 100% on that.
So,
Gonna keep our eye on it here. I'd have to suspect we're gonna be seeing some pit stops here before too awful long.
yeah.
I'd imagine
But,
between.
McCanny,
Go ahead. No, you're good. Go ahead.
McCanny is someone who has a lot of pace if given time to practice, as he is going to be one of the first people peeling into pit road, taking that Miami-esque access road.
Yeah.
In turn 3.
Yeah, very. Today was my first day actually doing some runs here, and I drove by it a couple times before I realized, hey, dummy, you're supposed to go down there to pit. It doesn't look like a normal pit road entrance, so it could ruin someone's day real fast if you don't realize that's where you're supposed to be.
Yeah, as apparently the commentator gets some like this. That's what happens, Cody Reader.
Yeah.
You take my number.
That's right. We're going to keep our eye on it here. We know we've got some early guys hitting pit lane, James McCanny, and we're going to keep our eye on these leaders as we're one lap. We're going to be at lap 50 on this bad boy already.
James McCanny has sat in pit road for some time. I wonder if maybe he does not have a fast repair available?
Huh.
Oh, no. He's manually disconnected, maybe went a lap down and realized he just didn't have enough practice.
Oh. All right. So it looks like McCanny and George Jewell out of today's event here. And, man.
Yeah, that sucks for McCanny, someone who is, at least last night when I was racing with him, is someone who's shown his pace, just been able to keep it going.
Yeah, definitely. And as I'm looking at the live scoring and timing here, man, this is definitely a holy Blake Giglio moment. 4.6 second lead on this field. That is just blistering pace here. I mean, that's unbelievable. And quite honestly, that gap is growing. He is laying down some long run lap speed tonight.
Yeah, speaking of holy, John J. McIntyre just put a hole in the turn 1 wall.
Oh, man.
But seems like he's back up and running in that 6th position, which is one of his better, results as of late.
Yeah, absolutely good run, man. Absolutely good run. He's got to just keep it going here. A lot of racing to go. Just stay patient. Come down pit road, get that thing fixed up, and get back after it.
John is, you've seen John's improvement over the entire season, getting faster and faster and having, better finishes against these guys who have raced, for a longer time or known to be extremely quick.
Yes.
And John has been relatively, small compared to these other guys and is starting to, beat some of them on a regular basis.
Yeah, absolutely. He's certainly improved a lot. We see 25. Well, it looks like this might be a lap machine here. Thought that was a battle for a position, but I don't think it is.
That would be the... I do not
08,
see
maybe?
anybody.
Is it the 8?
this-
Oh, that's the 8 of Mike
That's
Wells.
the 8 car.
Okay.
Yeah, Mike Wells. So
That is not a battle for second, but, you know, Dean Brummett here in that 316, he's not letting Cody get too far ahead, staying within striking distance, and the guy that's been just plowed through the field today is Dakota Camper in that number 3 machine, up 8 positions, currently sitting in the 4th spot, and he was the fastest guy in practice today. He was a little bit faster than Blake during the practice thing, but I tell you what, track position plays a significant role, and right now, Blake Giglio has got the upper hand by, well, now it's down to 6.2, so it came down just a little bit, but 6 seconds is a long time around a 23-second lap.
yeah, but speaking of position, you know, you have to wonder how much this 8 of Mike Wells is going to slow down the 25 of Cody Reeder, and if it'll let the 316 and the 3 car to catch up.
Sure.
But it looks like tires are just gone on that 316, braking a little bit more than these other guys, and I feel like sliding a bit,
Ooh,
almost making contact with that outside wall.
Yeah, he sure did. I saw that. The 316 truck did not want to turn. It's just plowing tight right now, and he is screaming for a caution or some fresh tires. But we're coming to lap 60 here, and I'd have to imagine we're going to start seeing the leaders pitting any time now. Oh boy, the 25 just about got it too. Whew.
This 25 maybe looking to go down on the pit road, seems to have lost a little bit of pace compared to this 8 car.
Yeah, that was a little sketchy there. I think he just got really loose, and I don't know what happened there, but
Yeah, but as fast as he lost that time, he's made it back up.
that he has.
Right behind that 8 car, but the 3 has made up so much time on that 316. Now almost right behind him.
Yeah, the 3 car has been awesome all day long. I don't think he qualified. I think he started in the back, toward the back of this thing, didn't he? Or did he qualify?
I'm not quite sure.
I don't remember, but I know that he came through. Well, he's up 8 spots, so if he did qualify, it was definitely not at the pace that he had been practicing in. So, gonna start seeing some green flag stops here any moment now. The only thing that I was kind of wondering is do you think any of these guys? Do you think they're going to just try to make this a one-stop race? Can they go to 75 and 75?
If they're not worried about tires, I think so. As Cody Reeder gets in the outside wall, I think.
Definitely touched it a little bit. I don't think it did any damage, but I think he rode that wall just a little bit right there. Truck looks pretty clean, though. As we see Dakota Camper in that 3 truck. Oh, boy, that got tight underneath the 316, trying to take over that 3rd position here, and just could not get the power down as we see the rear end of that truck start to get loose. The 316 with the momentum on the outside will prevail for now. Oh, boy.
The 316 gets loose on corner exit. You almost commentator cursed him. I would have had to kick you so hard.
Man. Yeah, I felt every bit of this when I tested earlier. I went out and I did a pretty long run. I think I did maybe about 55 laps or so. And I was actually talking to Dakota Camper on the side in Discord, and I said, man, I was really loose. And he said, really? I was really tight. But I tell you what, we sure are seeing a combination of the two right now. People pancaking the wall or people getting real loose on exit here. It's, oh boy, yeah, that 8 car. He's making it difficult right now for this lead pack to get by him. I think they're going to get it now. But look what that did. That brought the 3 Dakota Camper all the way up right now to try to take over the 2nd position from the 25 of Cody Reeder as we are coming to lap 67.
Yeah, just barely past 1/3 through this race, almost to halfway.
Almost there.
He's, 2nd through 4th is battling with everything they got.
They definitely are, and this is some really good side-by-side racing here. He's 2nd, 3rd, 4th position right here under a blanket. Just been a heck of a battle. And Josh Anderson Doesn't have any pressure from behind, so he feels, no pressure. Probably a good thing. Getting a good, solid top 5 run right now. And Corey Stahl is up 3 more spots on that 66, putting him in the 6th position here as we are patiently waiting to see what are these leaders going to do regarding their pits. We're coming to lap 70, so my instinct is maybe these guys are just going to split this thing right down the middle, do 75, 75, load it in the hauler and call it a day. What do you think?
Well, I'm thinking that Cody Reeder just made some more contact with the outside wall. It looks like his car maybe got a bit loose on exit, went to straighten it out, and just caught the outside on the front stretch. So,
And yeah,
more damage for that 25 machine.
looks like he's got some left side damage too. So that's
Not quite sure where he would have picked that up.
Yeah, definitely product of another vehicle, unless he hit the inside wall. And then again, look at
he did that.
the side of the 8 car's got a lot of left side damage too. So a lot of rubbing going on here tonight, folks.
I feel like there's not a lot of space to not be a lot of rubbing.
Absolutely. Very cool looking car right there, man. Definitely a heartfelt moment to see these guys running these Ken Block schemes. And, really appreciate them supporting our brand with the 213 Simware, man. It's just so cool to see the support out there from all these guys. Cannot thank you all enough for that. And boy, oh boy, talk about some damage. That side of that 2 car and the rear tailgate area there, the spoiler area, it needs a little bit of love when he comes to pit road.
Yeah, with that 2 car, John McIntyre, he was running 5th earlier, qualified 5th. Got passed by Dakota to get put to 6th, and after making contact with that outside wall in turns 1 and 2, just hasn't been able to make that time back up.
Definitely has not been as fast as he was. Got a good battle back here, though. This is for 10th, 11th, and I think 10th and 11th. Yeah, because Mike Wells is really nowhere near. Okay. Easy there. See, the 88 overdrove it, and then he spins as he's entering pit road. The 88, Dakota Bailey, loses it right in front of Dean Brummett coming to pit road. And that's exactly what I was talking about. This pit road is very unique. It is unlike any other place we go to. And we just saw right there a huge mistake right in front of one of the front runners in that 88 machine. Thank goodness Dean Brummett did not get in there involved in that, as we see Blake Giglio, our leader, currently entering the pits as well. Oh, that always makes me nervous when they ghost through somebody.
As it looks like the 75 of Stony Benfield had a quicker pit stop than that 316. Maybe only taking 2 tires or only taking fuel.
Guess we'll have to see how that cycles out. There's definitely a pretty big gap between the two, so he might be trying something different.
Benfield was a lap down, maybe trying to get that lap back on pit strategy.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely could be as well. It's going to cycle things around right now. Ladies and gentlemen, new leader for the time being in Dakota Camper, and that number 3 Ken Block looking machine. But he's going to have to pit for fuel too, so we're going to have to keep our eye on this, as we just saw pit road entry here. Absolutely treacherous at Lucas Oil IRP.
Yeah, but if you look at the lap, it seems like these drivers are going to try and split it half and half. As Dakota Camper will now pull onto pit road, getting an extra lap out of that, and will almost catch the rear end of the 45.
Ooh, yeah, the 45. Yeah, definitely got in. I don't know, maybe slowed up a little too much, because that 3 just about ran him over.
So he's trying to pass him now.
Hey, as long as he ain't speeding on pit road, anything,
yeah.
do what you got to do.
They don't penalize you for going too slow on pit road.
No, they don't. We're going to have to keep our eye on that, and that's going to put Bobby Anderson and, well, not no more. Blake Giglio back to the lead here. Coming to lap 79. This thing is halfway over already. Leader absolutely putting on a clinic here. The number 16 of Blake Giglio. Back up front at IRP. Pit stops are underway, and this thing is going to cycle through. We're going to take just 1 second, step aside, and pay some bills, and we will be right back on the 213 Broadcast Network. we are going to break out that commercial here, folks. Come back to live action as we have a caution on the racetrack. It looks like Jesse Steffes has crashed. We are going to take a look and see what happened, and we can pay some bills later. It's about racing, baby. Let's check it out. See what happened here.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd call that a wreck. I'd call that more of a slight misdirection, maybe.
See what happens here. Oh, yeah. Just a self-spin. Lost it. Lost it. Lost it.
I believe that's the third car.
Yeah, very good job keeping it off that inside wall to not do any damage to that rear deck lid. And great job, great job. Yeah, that's all I can say. Good job keeping that off. Looks like, you know, another product of new tires. Getting a little bit too hard in that gas, and these things just whip around. So this is our second caution of the day, and it looks like your leader, Blake Giglio, back on pit road here. Gonna take advantage of these new tires, I'd suspect, huh?
Yeah, same with that 43, who did not pit originally. So this is the 43's first pit stop.
Wow.
I actually gained him a ton of positions in time.
I would think so, yeah. That might be a great break for the 43 truck, or technically the one truck of Bobby Anderson.
As Anderson on here, not quite sure how up to date this is on the timing board that I'm seeing. I think I'm just a little bit crazy though.
Well, we know you're a little bit crazy.
Okay, listen, it's not that bad.
So
maybe it is, but
it's going to be interesting here because I think Blake pitted. I know Blake pitted, and I don't think Dakota did. So I think that's going to put the 3 truck as the leader when we go back green here. And we know he's been really fast all night long. So we're going to see what happens here with these 2 front guys. We know they're both really fast.
Yeah, Blake's tires are not that much older than Dakota's. Dakota was was one of the last people to pit. The only person behind him was that 43 or 1 car of Bobby Anderson.
Definitely a pit strategy there. And, you know, like we saw, these guys basically split this thing right down the middle, pitting between laps 75 and 76 of 150. So, you know, a couple guys came down and took fresh tires, but the difference is only, what, I think we only did maybe 4 or 5 green flag laps there. So not a huge lap difference, but we're about to see. We're about to see. Those 4 or 5 laps could mean something at lap 149.
Every lap means everything at any given time, in my experience.
So Dakota Camper pitted on lap 77, and then the guys from 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th
all pitted now.
Pitted on 81 to 82. So
I don't think the tire situation will be too bad. It all just depends on how these drivers get around.
Right.
Now Blake and Dakota were very similar on pace, so I almost wonder if, you know, Blake will start to pull away because he'll have these slightly better tires. So every lap he'll be slightly faster and pull further and further away.
Definitely going to be interesting. We saw that 3 car literally drive through the entire field. And I don't know if he had a bad qualifying effort or just simply didn't qualify. But we see the iRacing pace truck diving down pit road here. And we are getting ready to go back green flag racing. I believe it's going to be lap 85 when we go green here at Lucas Oil IRP. SERL Saturday night. Green flag is back out. Dakota Camper, number 3, Ken Block Machine, up front here as we are on at 86. I'm sorry, not 85. We are at 86.
And speaking of getting away, he's gone as he's going to immediately pull onto pit road.
Oh, man.
Not quite sure. Maybe got a jump start penalty?
That's what I was thinking. If they're using the restart zone, he could have got a restart violation there. Huge implications for that 3 truck. I don't know what that was all about, unless you hear something over the radio that I don't. Oh, we got an incident back here.
All right, man.
Caution is out. Caution number 3 of the night here. Let's take a look at it. Looks like John McIntyre maybe got turned. I don't.
No, it looks like the 49 and the 8 made contact going into turn 3, and John McIntyre just a passenger here.
Gotcha. Yeah, we're gonna take a look at it here. See what we can see here. Oh
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, it looks like the 8 tried to make a move around that 49 car of Steffes, and Steffes just didn't have enough grip and moved off the track.
My gosh, do you see that 66? How close was that for Corey Stahl? Look at this.
All the weekly stall fans are pumping their fists right now because they weren't in it.
Man, look at how close this was for him. And Gonzalez barely missed the 49. And oh, wow, that was really close. Great driving right there, number 66. One heck of a job avoiding that incident. And his day will continue. That was some awesome driving there. Looks like I might be using a couple faster pairs here, guys.
Yeah, at least for the guys who have one left. I know John McIntyre had not used his fast repair from the damage previously, so maybe he'll use it now.
Yeah, that's a very good possibility. And something else we're going to have to keep an eye on, too, is what happened there with Dakota? What was up with that number 3? This could have literally been a break that saved his race right there. You don't ever want to see your fellow competitors have a bad day, but that incident right there could have just saved the race for that number 3 truck.
Yeah, but that 3 car is still now a lap down due to having to pull onto pit. Way more, though.
Absolutely. It's, it's something that we've commented on earlier in this season. When you go to places like Bristol or Martinsville or places like that, and you have an unfortunate incident, whether it's damage or a violation of black flag, that time on pit road will literally just kill your day because the laps go by in 20 seconds, 22 seconds. I mean, that is, you can't, how much repair can you do in 20 seconds, right? I mean, you had a place like Talladega and you've got a minute or two to sit around and pace. You know, you can come to pit road and get your damage fixed. At a place like this or Martinsville, those laps go by so fast that it's just so frustrating because you get trapped a lap down almost immediately.
Yeah, tracks like Daytona, you can do what Kyle Busch did, and obviously 2022's Daytona 500, where it's just continue to come on pit road and just fix damage.
Yep.
Because you're going to have a minute and a half before, you have to get back around.
Absolutely.
Somewhere like Bristol, you won't even get to your stall till you're...
Yeah, absolutely right. Definitely been on the negative end of that spectrum a couple times, and it's just frustrating. You're helpless because there's really nothing you can do about it, but you know what? It happens to the pros. It can happen to a little old me. I'll survive. But tell you what, man, this has been a great change for that 7 of Josh Anderson. He's going to be starting on the outside of the front row here after that caution.
Yeah, that's also the first real bit of contact we've seen all day between the 49 and 8 car. I thought there'd be a bit more today just due to the nature of this track, but these guys have done well to keep it out of one another's bumpers.
Absolutely. We're headed to the Geico restart zone here as the green flag is back out. And Blake Giglio, no surprise, leading the way here. Got a great jump on that 7.
As only the top on the lead lap.
That's crazy. 316 using the outside. That momentum here. 316 clearing for the 3rd position and catching up here right now to the bumper. Oh, trying to get to the bumper of that number 7 car to take over the side-by-side action here. This is fun. I love it.
Yeah, Dean Brummett, the king of 2nd place, wants to break that streak.
Man, he does too. And you know what?
But I think
we want him to break that streak.
Well, I'm worried he's going to break it with the 3rd place and not the 1st place.
Yeah.
That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah. We definitely want to see cheering for that 316 to get a win here, man. What a good guy. And, man, he has showed up each and every week with a ton of speed. He's due. He is due, and his day will come as we see some single file action here pretty much through the top 10. Man, the 7 and the 316 ain't letting that 16 get away just yet. They're still there.
Yeah, but you have to wonder, are they burning too much tire?
Right. Well,
because they may be running the same pace, but Blake may be running it a little softer, kind of conserving those tires a bit more. So he gets a massive run off of 2
he
compared to
did.
the 7 and 316.
Absolutely did. He got a great run off. And you're right, though. You can see the 7 closing up on the center of the corner, but the 16 gets such a better run off. And a lot of times if you overcharge the corner, you know, I see it a lot in officials. You got some guys behind you, and it's almost like they're trying to take you out because they drive so hard into corner entry that by the time they get to the middle, their car just washes way up the racetrack. And
That's what my
absolutely,
issue is.
yeah, absolutely burning up your tires at that point. So backing up your corner, getting a better corner exit like the 16 is doing is going to prevail in the long run. You better believe that.
Yeah, and Blake has proven that over the course of this race as the 7 getting a turn 2, I believe.
Absolutely. It looks like 7 and the 316 got loose at the same time there. Bobby Anderson up in the picture here.
Yeah, I think the 316 maybe just went to avoid.
Yeah, you could be right.
As that 7 is closed back up to that 16.
He really has.
Never mind. The 16 gets another massive run.
He's going to make a liar out of us broadcast guys. We don't know anything. He says we're going to show
Blake,
them boys.
You gotta prove me right, not wrong.
Yeah, man,
Remember,
that's...
I hold the curse.
Yeah. That 7 is really fast in the middle of the corner, though, man. I mean, his middle of the corner speed is just lights out, but you got to wonder what is that doing to those good years. We've still got 50 laps to go here. It's a lot of racing, man, a lot of time still left. And Cody Reeder up to the 5th position. We see Corey Stahl, Stoney Benfield, and James Jones falling off the pace just a little bit from the pack here, holding out your top 8 position. And that's going to put Dakota Camper back in the 9th spot. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that. If a caution made fall, that would certainly not hurt his chances here.
As the 7 trying to look high and low to get on to the 16. Looks like every time he looks to make that move, he just loses more time. I think he just needs to sit behind him until given him the chance.
Yeah, you definitely see the rear end of that truck stepping out on corner exit there. He's hammering the gas, trying to get as much speed as corner exit as possible, but it's breaking those rear tires loose, and man, you get these Goodyears mad. They stay mad. They tend to not fix themselves real good, so it's only going to get worse from there if he continues to break that rear end loose, I'm afraid.
Yeah, these tires, they don't get worse.
Side-by-side battle here for 4th and 5th position. 25, and we have a caution on the racetrack.
As there was some radio chatter from John McIntyre, so I wonder if he is involved.
Looks like the 88 is involved.
Looks like netcode.
Pull up the replay here and see if we can see anything that happened here.
It looks like there's no contact made, but the way that the 88 it looked like netcode.
Let's get a nice slow view here, see what we got going on. They're still pretty far apart now. Let's see what we got here.
Corner exit.
Yeah, here we go. Oh, yeah, they definitely did not touch. That is absolutely a case in netcode here. Something that, unfortunately, us iRacers, sim racers have to deal with from time to time. Really nothing you can do about it. It's just part of the way the physics work sometimes, and that wasn't a dirty move by either of those drivers. That was all just a digital cluster that we have to deal with from time to time. Unfortunate for the 88 is going to probably, looks like he might have used, did he come down pit road?
I believe he already used a fast repair.
Did he? Okay.
But I'm not quite sure. I believe most of these guys have already used it due to
Look at it
the
here.
wall.
Yeah, he's still definitely got a lot of right side damage. So we do got some takers on pit road, though. We're going to see, looks like the 25 and the 16.
As James C. Jones slowed down really early again. I wonder if maybe that's a strategy to try to get someone to miss pit road.
Yeah, maybe so. We definitely got a lot of takers on pit road right now, trying to fix up some beat up race trucks as we see the 8 of Mike Wells, 23 of Richard Gonzalez, the 08 of David Mayo. Haven't talked a whole lot about him. Really cool looking Mopar paint scheme there, and that 08 on pit road, getting that truck fixed up here, as we're going to have, I'm thinking we're only going to have about 40, maybe 30 or 40 to go here.
42.
We go back green. So, yeah, this thing is winding down real quick here.
As the 25 of Cody Reeder, I believe, is currently sitting in first.
He
Unless
is.
iRacing is lying to me again.
That's what I'm seeing.
Many times.
Exactly. But that is what I'm seeing, too. And, you know, he is currently your points leader. And another thing that just dawned on me right now, I didn't even think right now, Landon Lacey is not here tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Landon Lacey
I was like, I feel like we're missing a big name.
Yeah.
Who it
And,
is.
you know, as I was going over these points, Landon Lacey is only 10 points behind your leader here. And he is not here, as well as Anthony Trippi in 5th spot. So those guys like Bobby Anderson, Blake Giglio, it could be a big points day for those guys.
Yeah, a lot of these guys just hoping to do what they can to get maybe their first win or standings, but this 25 and the 16, they don't want to give it up.
They definitely don't. And you know, the thing we're going to have to keep an eye on up here over these next couple of weeks is, I mean, this 16 car has just turned it up these last handful of weeks, and man, he keeps this up, we might be crowning a new champion this year in SERL, because he has been lightning fast. As we see the iRacing pace truck ducking down pit road, we are going to be headed to the Geico restart zone here at IRP, getting ready to go back to green flag racing with Cody Reeder leading the way here. Lap 110 in the books, folks. We are winding down very fast, and wow, what a run. That number 16 gets off of turns 3 and 4 there, 1 and 2, to get right on the rear of that 25 machine, and he moves him. Hello, sir. I'm coming through.
Oh, and the 43 is around and into the inside wall.
Oh, man.
As I think after we take a look at this, might be a good time to pay some bills, because we might need to send it over to that 43 car, because he looks like he needs it.
Yeah, and I tell you what, just like you said, and obviously we're kidding, but you know, we just talked about this could be a huge break for the one car, because a couple of guys literally right in front of him are not here today. And as soon as we say that, he has an incident, and you can see it. He just the rear end of that truck all by himself. And we've seen it over and over again, how loose these trucks can get on corner exit, and slams hard into the inside wall here at IRP. And I would be very surprised if that thing drives anywhere near normal after that contact. So let's hope he does have a fast repair. He is coming down pit road. Or is he coming off pit road? No, he's coming into pit road here. We're going to keep an eye on that and see if he's got a fast repair in the bank, because that was a very hard hit. The right front of that truck is all kinds of screwed up. It looks like the steering, front tires bowed out.
I think just the front of that truck in general. I mean, he hit that thing head on.
Man, he's changing tires. It doesn't look like a fast repair. No,
he used his fast repair.
He used. I was just going to say that. I literally just, the second it came out of my mouth, I'm like, oh my gosh, no. We know he took his fast repair, because we said how.
Well, I know, you forgot.
I did forget. I'm getting old.
See, I got time. I'm good.
Be quiet over
there. See, but I got to get sick, so it evens out. Because your voice still works. Mine doesn't.
Yeah. Yeah. For those that don't know, my co-host here, Logan, plays soccer, and he plays about 400 games a week, I'm pretty sure. So he's out in the elements quite often and complains that his legs hurt all the time. So we'll just share that with the fans. But hey, very good
Well,
soccer
I'm
player.
just waiting until you start complaining that your back hurts from trying to stand up.
You shut up over there. It's cool though. I definitely appreciate that. I grew up playing soccer as well, and certainly a big part of my upbringing. So definitely cool to have somebody else share that experience with me in the booth here. So the 25, he is going to hold on to this lead temporarily. But man, Blake was there. He was literally beating on the back bumper of that 25 car, letting him know he wanted that lead back again here at IRP.
That's also the first real attempt at a bump and run I believe we've seen all season. At least that's been covered.
Yes, sir. He was not afraid to use that front end here.
Lucas Oil wasn't exactly a place I was expecting it to come, but surprises are welcome.
Absolutely. Yeah, and these corners don't have a whole lot of banking. They're relatively flat, like we said early on. It kind of reminded me of like a bigger New Hampshire. Very flat corners. Not quite as flat as New Hampshire, but it's certainly an opportunity to move somebody out of your way because it is very hard to pass here. There's no question about that.
Yeah, as we've seen today, it's even with the 25 trying to get past that lap car and the 8 of Mike Wells just wasn't really able to do it because of the way that this track is kind of structured. So
definitely. I put up a little thing on my Twitter. I did, just a few laps in the test truck to get some information on how the truck felt for today. And a couple people were like, man, this is my worst racetrack. And I'm like, I can see how that could be. Like, this is a very tough place, especially on a long run. So some people are struggling a little bit more than others as we see the iRacing pace truck ducking down pit road, headed to the Geico restart zone one more time. And it looks like Cody Reeder took the outside here. He gets a great launch. I think that's
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting
choice.
Maybe to run into one.
First time.
And
Absolutely, man.
It seems like every time someone starts on an inside, they lose a position or two at the start. Maybe he was hoping that 7 could get clear, but the 16 is under him. The 316 maybe going to sit at 3 wide.
He thought about it. Oh, and we see somebody in the back. The 08, I think it was David Mayo, hard into the inside wall here. Does not look like the caution has came out.
Yeah, just got loose on his own there.
Yeah, it's just beating a dead horse, man. These guys are breaking free on their own. No question about it. But, Dean Brummett sideways.
Now, one thing I've noticed, the slower that you try to exit the corner, I feel like that's when these guys are spinning out.
Yeah, it's definitely been an interesting race. Side by side for the lead here. Blake Giglio wants to get it back. Oh, it's going to be tight.
316 trying to make a move on that 25 car.
Woo.
I think the 316 is going to follow Blake through if he can.
He's going to try to right now. Great move right there by by Blake. That was just a power move right there.
Congratulate yourself there.
Always.
That's my job. As the 316 isn't quite able that 25 car and is not able to follow the 16 of Blake Giglio through. The king of second place stuck in third.
Yes, sir. He's going to try to break that streak here. Before he's able to do that, he's got to get around the 25 and the 16, and they have both been absolutely lights out tonight. But the 316 is there. You can see him right on the bumper of that 25 as we are coming to lap 123. This thing is going to be over in the blink of an eye here.
Yeah, and one thing you can see is the 25 just doesn't have a 16 car. I wonder if that 25 is just going to start playing defensive, keeping everything he can.
Yeah, in all fairness, I don't think anybody's got the pace of that 16 car tonight. He's been just stellar. Just stellar speed.
I think if anyone, it'd be Dakota, but Dakota is kind of stuck in the back currently.
Dakota Camper looks like
7th.
Yeah, it looks like he's moved up to 6th, so it's been a great rebound for him here. Like we said, though, the laps are winding down. Another caution. It could put him back up in contention. Right now, I think he's going to need just a little bit of help here. But right now,
we're only 26 laps out, 127 laps out from the end of this race. So if you're going to go now. the 25 laps might seem like a lot, but at a short track like this, it's really only a few. If
Yeah,
it stays green.
absolutely. 25 laps is going to go really fast here. It's certainly a great battle up front, though. It's definitely exciting to watch. The 316 is not. Oh, the 25 is a huge run into that corner there.
25 seems to have a very similar driving style to that 7 car. Makes up a lot of time on that turn and then just loses it on the straights.
Whew, boy, he is trying. He sent it in there that time, too.
Rummett's going to maybe look for a move to the inside. Isn't able to get there.
Not quite close enough.
Yeah,
He's got
Dean
the momentum now.
Yeah, it definitely looks like he's experimenting with some stuff to try and get by this 25 truck.
Yeah, he lost a little bit of ground right there, man. That 25 is definitely sending it in, but you can see Dakota Camper starting to creep into the back of this picture here. Starting to see a little bit of the front end of that 3 truck. If he's able to get there or not, I don't know, because these laps are going fast here. We're going to be to 22 to go next time by here live tonight in SERL Saturday Night Truck Racing at IRP.
Yeah, but as Dakota Camper's front end, comes into view, that 16 is starting to go out of view and is just running away with earlier in the race.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's well on his way to checking out here, but so definitely exciting battle up front, man, and a heck of a rebound by Dakota. We'll have to touch base with him later and see exactly what that pit was all about, if he got a restart violation or not, but he's up 7 spots, so that is once again going to put him back into the biggest mover for the bonus points tonight here in tonight's race. So certainly could have been a lot worse, and a great points rebound for that 3 machine. That could have been a big hit to the points.
Yeah, and the 316 and 25 that is not the word. Continuing their battle. I don't know how I got to considering. Ooh, as the 25 gets loose.
They're continuing
back at that.
Considering to continue to battle. See?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Of course it is.
But the 316 got into the 25's rear bumper at the exit of turn 4 last lap and almost to the 25 around. Sorry, I said 24.
Oh boy.
My brain's not working now.
Starting to shut down on you.
Yeah.
You've had a long day.
Late.
Yeah, I know you
Yeah.
have long days, and I really appreciate you coming up here with me after a long soccer days, man. That can't be easy, so your time is very much appreciated.
Oh, I thought today was long. Tomorrow's going to be awful.
I know.
I have to wake up at like 6:30
Oh, that's rough.
to play 2 in a row, yeah.
Dang, man. That 316 is not... I think the 25 is probably driving out of his rearview mirror as much as the windshield right now, because Dean Brummett is giving him a fit right now, trying to take over that second spot.
Yeah, that 316 is almost as unrelenting as my soccer schedule. as he's chasing down the 25 for that second position still.
Ooh, boy,
Getting real loose at a turn 4.
Yes, he is. We're coming to 16 laps to go, folks. That's how fast this does go. It was just literally about 3 minutes ago, I think we said. We got 25 to go. We're going to be over here before you know it. And thank you, everybody, once again for tuning into the 213 Broadcast Network, supporting this awesome league and these great drivers here at SERL. Hope everybody had a good holiday and a safe holiday. And great to see everybody back in here on the viewers on our YouTubes. We appreciate you.
And speaking of back, that 316 is back to the 25's rear bumper and is using it a little bit as a brake pedal now.
Yeah, I seen that a little bit. And you know what this is doing is the 25's definitely being a little defensive, but it's bringing that 7 and that 3 all right back here under a blanket. I kind of feel like the 316 might be a little bit faster, but he's having a terrible time getting around that 25, and it's brought those other guys right here into the picture, battling all for a top 5 tonight live here in IRP. Oh, the 07. Woo. Okay, that could have been bad.
Well, never mind.
All right.
Yeah, we'll just take back what we said.
Sheesh, great save by Josh Anderson in that 7 car. I mean, he was straight sideways right there, so that was a excellent job behind the wheel, not destroying that machine, and still in the 5th position. So still a great points opportunity for him if he can bring it home.
Be any damage on that car, but there is damage to 2 things. 1 is tires, 2 is ego.
And underwear. 3 things.
Oh yeah, 3 things. My bad. And you're never getting that 3rd one back.
Yeah. That was definitely a Code Brown moment, but man, heck of a job keeping that thing off the wall there. As Dean Brummett is still hunting down that 25 car, man. Cody Reeder is your points leader, and he is making it impossible to pass for that 2nd spot here live tonight. Saturday night under the lights, man. Night racing is the best kind of racing, in my opinion. Love to see it, and I'm glad that's a feature here on the sim.
Yeah, we said earlier that Lucas Oil was a really tough track to pass at. And from what I've seen, there's really only one racing line, and Cody Reeder is that racing line.
That's right, it absolutely is. Oh, boy.
As Cody Reeder doesn't get as good an exit as he'd like, and that makes the 316 of Dean Brummett.
He definitely
lose that position.
Yeah, I was going to say, he looked like he kind of swerved there a little bit and didn't have the exit he wanted. But that 3 truck is there, too. Dakota Camper up in the picture here, up 8 positions, and in the 4th spot, trying to get a podium finish here.
Yeah, I'm starting to think that if you're going to want to make a move, you're going to want to get to the high side of this 25. I don't think that low side's going to work.
Yeah, it's so hard to get the gas down and get momentum and a good launch on the bottom. And, you know, it's those guys that are trying, you know, you see that 3 trying, but he just can't get the power down to those rear wheels to get off the corner enough to make it stick.
As the 316 going to look to the 25's inside maybe again, just not enough pace to get to him. As we're under 10 to go.
We are under 10 to go. That is crazy. Gone by so fast. There he is.
A really good run.
Oh, and the 25 touches the outside wall here.
And the king of 2nd place returns.
He is back. All right, now Cody Reeder in the 3 car and Dakota Camper in the 3 car, side by side battling here for the 3rd position. And I think Dean finally just sent it in there and said, you know what, I'm running out of laps here, boys. We're going to send it and see what happens. And made it
Dean
stick.
Was able to make that, he was able to make that low line work, something that, you know, hasn't been seen a lot today.
Oh, boy. Things got tight right there, and looks like Dakota's going to make it stick.
As Josh Anderson is caught back up to those 2.
Whew.
Maybe slowing everyone down, definitely playing a bit more defensive, realizing he doesn't have the pace to catch up to Blake Giglio. Decided that keeping what he's got is better than losing it, trying to push too hard.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Boy, we see these guys just literally sideways off the corner exit. Almost every single lap, there's a truck straight sideways here. You got to kind of wonder, that 25 car, you know, he was pushing really hard to stay with Blake there. And now it looks like those tires might be falling off just a little bit more than maybe a couple of the guys around him.
Yeah, someone whose tires aren't falling off is Blake Giglio with a 5.4 second lead.
This man is ridiculous, folks. He is in a league of his own, literally right now. I mean, he is in a new zip code, and lap times are, I mean, he's running a 23.3. The next guy even close to him is Dakota, running a 23.44. Just lightning fast laps on a long run speed here in the 16 all night long, as we are coming to 2 laps to go here already. This thing flew by. Cannot wait to talk to these guys, man. What a race they put on here for us tonight.
Yeah, and speaking of a league of his own, I'm here to announce the opening of BGRL, Blake Giglio Racing League.
Nice, that's
because
funny.
This man just needs his own thing.
That's funny. Yeah, it's going to be a huge points implication, too. As we said, we've got a couple people right now that did not show up tonight. So as we are taking the final lap here, SERL Truck Series, 1 to go. Blake Giglio has put on a clinic from the drop of the green flag. Uh-oh. Dakota, oh, no. And that will not bring out a caution because the white flag is out. Oh, no. I hate it for the 25.
It looks like the 7 and the 25 made contact in turn 3. The 7 just
Oh,
had
all
more
right.
pace than the 25.
All right. Well, Blake Giglio brings it home here. We're going to take it back, and we're going to see if we can see what happened to Cody Reeder here on the final lap of this race. Oh, man. That's a tough angle. We'll have to back that up just a little bit. See, did the 7 touch him? It looks like he might have. Oh, yeah. 7 got to his rear bumper there, and he definitely... Oh, man. Whew, the 66 got lucky.
Again, 66 has just been avoiding all these. Now, one thing I will say is that seemed oddly similar to the Brandon Jones Ty Gibbs wreck.
Yeah.
Just the way he spun around, and the banking is somewhat similar as well.
Yeah, he definitely got to the rear bumper there and moved him up the racetrack. I don't think he meant to wreck him, but as loose as these...
definitely a bump and a run.
Yeah, absolutely, man. As loose as these trucks have been on corner exit tonight, that's all it took. As we see the number 16 burning it down on the front stretch here. We're going to see if we can't talk to some of these guys here. Dakota Camper bringing it home third. Dean Brummett in your second place finisher here tonight. Let's see if we can't go ahead and grab our third place finisher and move Dakota to the broadcast booth here. I think I moved him to the wrong booth.
Yeah, I think he did.
There we go. Did move to the wrong booth. Yep, that was an operator error. I moved you to the wrong booth. Number 3, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, brother. Hey, man, I tell you what, that truck, not only did it look awesome with the Ken throwback to Ken Block here, great observation and then a great memorial here from the league to represent a fallen racing hero. So, props to you for the league for that. But, man, we were watching you in practice, and that 3 truck was lightning fast all day long. How'd you feel out there, man? Tell us a little bit about your day.
Yeah, the truck felt good. I felt like I had a different line than a lot of people were running, and I had my brakes down, and I was really able to drive in. I was gaining a lot of time on corner entry, but it was fast. It was running the lower line. Everyone else was running the higher line, and so even when I was having to pass people, it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. I was able to get by on the bottom. But yeah, I just want to give a shout out first off before we go on to Bobby Anderson. It was his idea to do the throwback schemes to Kim Block, and also to John McIntyre. It's his idea to do the 4-wide salute at the beginning. So shout out to those 2 guys who are big Kim Block fans.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. You never want to see a tragedy like that. And just, got to recognize how incredibly talented that guy was, and the things he could do with the car is just simply amazing.
Oh yeah, I love watching his YouTube videos. He's got a lot of does a lot of exciting things, and it's sad to see him go.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely is. I know that you and I had spoke just briefly on Discord about how loose some of these trucks were on corner exit, and I think it was a heavy combination of tight and loose. But man, we saw a lot of single car spins tonight, getting on that gas a little bit too hard coming out of the corner.
Yeah, it was. You had to feather the throttle on corner exit. My line, I was burning my right front off, so I was really hammering down on exit the last 40 or 50 laps of the run. This is how that first run I was able to drive all the way through the field and get up there and finish second in the stage. I was fastest in practice, and then as qualifying was starting, my computer crashed, so I had to restart my computer.
Oh,
I didn't get to qualify. Yeah,
okay,
that explains our question.
Yeah, started 12.
That's what I was going to ask.
And then drove through the field, got up to second on the stage, and then when I pitted under green, I came back out. My tire went barely over the line, and it gave me a 26-second hold. So on that, I restarted that next restart in first, and I came in and pitted, and luckily there was immediately a call. to get back on the lead lap. So
Right,
able to
absolutely.
drive back up to the top 3.
All right. Well, we don't have to ask the next question. You just answered it for us. We were going to ask you about the untimely pit stop, but you already covered that. So, hey, another podium finish here tonight in the SERL and having a great points run. And Dakota, you are, in fact, the biggest mover of the race, up 9 positions. So you're going to get a point for that as well. So great run again, brother. Anybody you want to give a shout out to before we go to the next guy?
Yeah, I always got to shout out the Gathering Place Church Live on YouTube. If anybody's looking for a church out there and wants to stop in on YouTube, Gathering Place Church Live will be live at 10 o'clock in the morning. And also Unchained Motorcycle Ministry, they do a phenomenal job around our region, just do a lot of great things. And we continue to grow. I think we've got well over 60 members in that ministry, so that's a pretty cool deal. Yeah, shout out to you guys for doing such a great broadcast each week, and Darren's Nail Gun Repair for giving us a sponsor. And yeah, let's continue to have a good season. Everybody have these drivers have been great all season too.
Yep, absolutely. You guys are bringing an awesome show each and every week, and it actually feels good to be back up here in the booth. So hope everybody had a great holiday, brother, and we'll talk to you in the near future.
Absolutely. Y'all have a
All
good
right,
one.
you too, bud.
You too.
All right, let's see if we can't grab Dean Brummett here in the 316. Dean Brummett, got a copy?
I got a copy, guys. What you say?
Oh, man. Well, had a pretty solid run here at IRP, and we were just kind of up here just kind of laughing to ourselves a little bit, man. I think you made the 25's day pretty rough, man. I mean, you were headhunting that second position there.
Yeah, I mean, everything, man. And I was hoping to get past him a little quicker and maybe have a chance at Blake. I mean, the truck felt real good the later that the night went on. I mean, practice truck felt great, but then qualifying it was so tight I couldn't do anything with it.
Yeah.
And first stint was so tight, and I don't know if it was just track temps trying to work in the grooves, what it was. But I mean, I came into pit with, Blake had a half lap on me. Wasn't long after caution. I said, I'm going to go ahead and take these tires here because not too many cars on the lead lap, and worked way back up, and about 50 I think it was to go, had the last caution come out, and just decided wanted tires. I was going to do whatever the leaders did. I had one set left, and everybody came in, and just 25 stayed out, and trying to get them quick cautions for him so he could keep on that restart. And just that's the thing about this track. I mean, it races so much like a dirt track to the point it's not even funny.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't get down in there and slide somebody, you're not going to make a pass. And
Right.
I mean, I'm not going to be the guy to move somebody out of the way. It's just not how I race. I mean, if you race me that way, I'll race you that way. And me and Cody have had some pretty good races the last few weeks, and I'm not going to race somebody that way.
Nope, absolutely, man. We definitely appreciate that up here in the booth for sure. Clean racing is the way to be. Man, awesome. Another podium finish for you here in SERL, and we know that you did have a week where you were unable to attend, but we've got a couple of guys right now in the top 5 that weren't here either. Landon Lacey didn't show up tonight, so I think you're doing just fine in points, brother. You still are in this by all means. Anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go?
Oh man, just got a shout out to all sorts of people, and had a pretty rough week this week, and just the people who were around me for that appreciate them, and man, just want to thank you guys. And I guess here we're going to wind up having to get some. I'm number 2 on before
King of second. We'll get King of second shirts.
Yeah, the King of second. Yeah. There you go.
King of second. There you go.
All right, brother. Well, hey, you know what, man? You always bring a good show. We appreciate your attitude on the racetrack and your on-track etiquette. That is for sure. So we're going to talk to you. I'm more than sure we'll have you back up here in the weeks to come, brother. Congratulations on another run and another good run and a points day. We'll talk to you soon.
Hey, thank you guys. Have a great weekend.
You too, brother.
Anthony, I think if we make Dean Brummett shirts to say King of Second, we have to, in parentheses, put Dean Brummett the second.
That's too funny. All right, looks like we got number 16, Blake Giglio up here, the winner. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good. How about you?
Hey, doing great, man. What a clinic today, man. Tell us a little bit about how you felt out there tonight.
Yeah, man. Feel like we had a pretty good car tonight. Qualified on the
Pretty?
pole. Yeah, it was solid. We started up on the pole, and I think that was really important to start up there. And I kind of controlled the pace of the field there every restart, and I just saved my right front, honestly. And I think that was a really big part of it because after that 10-lap stint, I started to pull away little by little.
Yeah.
So I think if I was
That's
back on
right.
track, I think it would have been tough.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, we could see it up here. Just the way that people were entering the corners, and you were definitely backing up your corners and getting more focused on getting off the corner. And we saw a lot of people charging into the corner a little bit too hard. And after about that 15 lap mark, we're just starting to drop as to where you were starting to pull away. So you definitely knew what you were doing there, man. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to here before we let you go, bud?
Yeah, shout out to all you guys for broadcasting. You guys do a great job with that every week. Shout out to everyone at SERL to get it going. And Dakota does a great shout out to M9 Sim Sport. They do all my stuff for my sprint cars and starting to venture into the pavement world to check them out. Jake Swanson, Shock Technology, CDC Racing, Low Drag Esports, Be Charged. Everyone that's on here, we have Apex Auto Glass, and I think I got them all.
All right. Awesome, man. Well, hey, you absolutely dominated tonight. That 16 truck was just flat flying. And I put on a clinic for all these fans out here in the virtual sim world. Great run tonight, brother. And I'm sure we'll have you back up here in the near future. Congratulations on your win, bud. You got it, man. Have a good weekend. All right. Well, I think that's going to wrap things up here. And wow. I mean, literally, what a clinic. That 16 truck. I don't think anybody had anything for him.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
It was just lights out from the drop of the green flag. Man, that race went by pretty fast, as it does each and every week. Definitely a hard place to pass, but they put on a heck of a show for us here. And thank you, everybody, once again for tuning in. We are going to step off here until next week. We'll be right here every Saturday night until we crown a champion here in SERL. So we're going to sign off for now. And until then, enjoy the rest of your weekend.